raise them up now. Are you feeling me? Raise them up, raise them up now. Step back. Yeah, 'cause this is gonna be big.
From the Empire State to the Golden Gates, this is Quad Radio USA.
Oh, yeah.
Now, with all the dirt from the world of ATV motocross and GNCC racing, here's Mr. 10 Seconds, Rodney Tomlin.
And good evening, everyone, as we welcome you here to another edition of Quad Radio Live. Tonight, it is Wednesday, August 22nd, 2012, and it is just past 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 9:02, and Quad Radio Live comes to you live from Quad Radio USA tonight in the Quad Radio studios. I want to say thanks to our friends at Impact Solutions and Impact Solutions ATV. They are your authorized Elka Suspension Service Center here in the Parkersburg, West Virginia area, and of course the United States. Want to be sure and check those guys out at ImpactSolutionsATV.com. You can also find out a little bit more by giving them a call at 304-863-0025. And they've got things like your Stage 5 shocks for all those racing shocks. They've also got things like the shock protectors and the Stage 4 aggressive riding shocks as well. So as we said, check out ImpactSolutionsATV.com for more details and information about that. Coming up here in just a few moments on Quad Radio Live, we've got a few great guests. We've got coming up one Johnny G as he returns to Quad Radio Live this Wednesday. Not only Johnny G, but we are joined with one of his teammates from the Heartland Challenge this past weekend, I believe it was, that they ended up taking the championship win there. And I believe Walker Fowler may be joining us in a little bit. I believe we've also got Chris Borch scheduled to come on around 9:30 tonight, as well an 8-time ATV GNCC Women's Champ, and that is none other than Miss Tracy Checo. So we've got a full show coming up tonight. We've been kind of turning our back on the GNCC and off-road world lately with the wrap-up of the 2012 ATV Motocross Championship Series. So here we go tonight, back to the off-road world. We'll be checking in with those guys in just a couple moments. A couple of reminders for you. The ATVmotocross.com website is back up and running. They had some problems over there, but they've got that fixed. So those of you from the ATV motocross world, you'll be able to start getting some information and stuff from that. I'll be posting Site Lab coming up this Friday, so you'll be able to read up on what has been going on as far as from my perspective is concerned. Also, you can find out there right now more details and information about the banquet for the ATV motocross side of things. That has changed this year. Generally, it has been in the Pigeon Forge, Tennessee area. This year, it is actually moving to the Waterfront Place Hotel, which I believe is located right there in Morgantown, West Virginia. Yes, I know, as a matter of fact, it is. It is the Saturday night post the Thanksgiving. So whatever that Thursday is, that Saturday night is the date. I had all that stuff right here, I believe it is. And we'll give you some details on that. But here's the way the press release from Racer Productions reads. It says that it is going to be held Saturday, November 24th at the Water Place Front Hotel and Convention Center in Morgantown, West Virginia. You can log on to the ATV Motocross website to find out more. You can get special room rates, and I believe that you'll be able to start booking those rooms coming up on Friday. Also coming up, we've got the 88 Live to Ride. Well, it's actually the Matt Bartosik celebration race. Debbie Bartosik, who actually runs the 88 Live to Ride Foundation, will be hosting the 10th and final Matt Bartosik celebration race this coming weekend. You can find out more details by logging on to quadradio.com. It'll be taking place at Maple Shade Motocross there in Pennsylvania, and there's the 10th and final edition of that coming up, so you'll want to be sure and check that out if you can. And they also have a Facebook page, which, of course, is the Matt Bartosik Celebration Race page. So check that out, and if you're going to be up around Sugar Grove, PA this weekend, you might want to stop by for that. Also, Battle for Ohio is coming up this weekend, I believe, and you want to check that out. Briar Cliff Motocross. It is the Battle for Ohio, be both motorcycle and ATV. Will be racing this weekend, so you'll want to check that out. BriarCliffMX.com, I believe it is, and you can also find out the details there on Facebook. It seems to be the big place to go and find out a lot of things. And let's see, also got an interview coming up this week with Brandon Carter. Mike Brinkley from the IXCR gave us a pretty good interview from that. He is one of the top pro riders in that IXCR, as well as one of the top senior riders, which we'll be hearing from him a little later this week. But right now, we are set and ready to hear from the panel that is joined us here this evening. As we say good evening to, first and foremost, one Johnny G. Johnny Gallagher, welcome back to Quad Radio, my brother.
Hey, good to be back. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, it is definitely good to have you back, and I know that we've got a lot of things to talk about because you haven't been on for a while, and you've been pretty busy yourself. We've got Gabe Phillips. Gabe, give us a shout-out and see that you're still here with us.
Yeah, I'm still here. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. And,
I guess that's something for somebody out there. And I believe that Tracy Checo is out here with us, huh?
Yes, I'm here. Hello. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Tracy. So, well, Johnny, let's first and foremost start with you guys, and I just want to send out a quick congratulatory shout to you and I guess it was Gabe and Walker that went out to the Heartland Challenge this past weekend, huh?
Yeah, we went out there this past Saturday and ran the Heartland Challenge presented by GBC Motorsports, and we were able to bring home the win. We had our fair share of troubles, and a couple really good teams out there ran us tough the whole time, but we all pulled through, and Danny Fowler and Brock Booth in the pits did an awesome job, and we were able to bring home the win, so we were pretty stoked about that. We got our big Happy Gilmore 4-foot check, so you can check out the pictures of that on Facebook.
All right, man. We'll definitely do that. And what I want to do is I want to put that on hold for a few minutes. I want to give Walker a chance if he's going to be able to join us tonight to pipe in. If not, that's fine. But let's kind of turn our attention now to Tracy Checo. And then we say good evening, Tracy, and welcome here to Quad Radio. I know this is, probably your second time on here. Didn't we do a recorded interview once earlier this year?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
So how's things been going?
Pretty good, you know. I mean, I've been a little busy here. We're planning a wedding. We got a wedding on Saturday.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I knew that was coming up, but I didn't realize it was coming up this Saturday. So, wow, you are pretty busy. Yeah, well, congratulations to you.
Thank you. I spent the whole day at the stall. That's how busy I am.
Wow, man.
I got pampered all day today.
Did you really? At the spa? Yeah, it sounds like
I really was at the Hershey Spa all day.
So was that like a wedding present or something like that, or is that just something you said, hey, I deserve this?
No, my bridesmaids, our whole wedding party went down, and we all spent the day together, you know, got massages, and, you know, went into the hot tubs and the saunas, and just made a whole day of it. Very, very nice day.
Well, that is great. Now, you are going to be wedding another fellow GNCC racer, and that is one Jeff Pickens, correct?
Yes, we are.
And I know you guys have been a kind of a hot item here the last few years, and it's been kind of neat watching your guys' relationship flourish and grow there. So I think it's just awesome to see that it's all going to culminate into this, and you guys are going to get a chance to spend the rest of your life together. But I know that there's a lot going on in your life other than the wedding, and man, I don't see how you balance all of that. I mean, not only do you have the wedding, your training, or I assume you probably put that on hold with the break and everything, or at least slacked off a little bit. And then you've got a normal 9-to-5 job that you're working 150 hours a week, it seems like that.
Yeah, I don't like to sit still. So, yeah, I do my normal job, 8 to 4:30, and I do physical therapy assistant work at a skilled nursing facility, and I also like to go into people's homes. Some of the elderly who can't get out to get physical therapy, I go into their homes and also give them therapy. And then when the evening comes around, I come home here and I train, I ride, and I do a lot of my riding and testing mostly on the weekends. So on our off weekends, we're riding and testing, and Jeff does an amazing job working on the bikes and handling, all that end, so I can just focus on my training and stuff. And then, yes, we are, a lot of our off time here has been focusing on the wedding, and but it's going to be fun. We're excited about this weekend, so racing is what brought us together, so it's nice that we're going to have a lot of our racing family here at the wedding. So it all is coming together. It's a lot to handle. It gets stressful at times, but we love it, and that's what keeps us going.
That's great.
So is the rumor true that you guys are you guys riding a pair of white YFC 450Rs down the aisle to be married?
No, we do get that question a lot, but we did incorporate a little bit of wedding stuff into our little bit of racing into our wedding, just a little bit, since that's how we met. We did incorporate a little bit in, but I can't let all the secrets out. So you have to wait to see the pictures and things like that on Facebook. And, of course, Johnny G's in the wedding, so he'll be seeing some stuff here very shortly.
Oh, man, I got to ask, Johnny, are you like the maid of honor or something like that?
I've had a quarter for every time I've been asked, Gabe, I hear you laughing.
Johnny, you tried on the dress.
No, tell the dirt. Let's find out. Did it fit? Did it fit?
Yeah, come on, Tracy, tell the dirt. Let's start spilling dirt.
He said, I want to wear the shortest dress, and it has to be strapless. That's what he said.
Yeah, we tried it on. Unfortunately, I didn't have the hips for it, unfortunately. So I went with the tux, and I moved over to Jeff's side instead.
Oh.
Yeah, he decided he put it to the other side.
Oh. Well, that's
but I bet
okay.
he would have really enjoyed the spa day.
Oh, I'm sure that he would have.
I'm sure I would have too. Unfortunately, I'm behind the wheel driving. I'm actually headed from Ohio over to Tracy's neck of the woods. Going to spend a couple days hanging out with her and also doing some riding over at Chris Borges' place. So I've been on the road for several hours and got a couple more to go. And Gabe and I are certainly have had our fill of miles in the last few days driving all the way up to Iowa and back. So I'm about sick of being behind the wheel. I'm actually a little upset with Tracy that I didn't get an invite to Hershey Spa Day.
I'm upset too. I didn't even get an invite to the wedding.
Oh. Come on out! It's Saturday. All invited. Come on out.
So basically, I put you on the spot, so I get an invite, huh? Tracy, if I would have thought about it and I would have known probably, and I would have gotten an invitation in the mail, I could have put it on my schedule. But you're like in eastern Pennsylvania, though, aren't you?
Yes. Out by Harrisburg.
Yeah, so just to drive over, if it was just a couple hours over, I might come over and crash it or something like that, but I wouldn't expect to be over there. But I am looking forward to seeing the pictures, and I would love to see the pictures of Johnny in the dress, too.
Oh, we'll
there are
definitely
no
have
pictures of Johnny in a dress. These pictures do not exist. He's making this up.
Certainly someone got a picture of that.
If we are going to start dragging people through the mud, she is going to lose.
Come on, Johnny. Be a good
There you go.
All right, I'll shave my legs. I'll get the dress.
That would
Hey,
be.
I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm not in bets, so I'm definitely not betting bets that might have me in a dress. I lost a bet on Saturday night. Gabe knows all about that one, and now I'm owed. I always said I'd never get a tattoo. Now I have to get a tattoo.
What?
And last time I.
Whoa.
That's a story for if we get walked around later, but.
All right.
Long story short, I made a firm statement that there was no way anybody was going under 17 minutes in the dark out there in Iowa, as rough as the track had gotten, and as poor as the conditions were getting with the rain, and Walker's not human, so now I have to get a tattoo.
Whoa. All right. What kind of tattoo you got to get? You got to get somebody's name on there?
No, it was just a tattoo. So, I've been doing some thinking. We'll figure it out. I'll probably obviously some type of a memorial or something commemorative for my father's passing.
For sure. I can understand that. That's a neat tattoo. I hate that you lost a bet, but that's sounds like we got some pretty good stuff to talk about in a little bit. Well, Tracy, I got to ask you, Jeff seems to be a rather attentive person as far as the racing end of the relationship goes. Has he been as attentive as far as this wedding has gone?
Oh my gosh, Rodney, he has done so much. I told him, I said, you know what, honey, when this racing's over, you should be a wedding planner. He is very good at it. He actually, helped with, getting the place, helps talk to all the people that we have to talk to, with getting the big tent and the chairs, the tablecloths, the place settings. I mean, he's really good at it. Something I didn't know about him. He always has been very organized with racing and things like that, but, it's racing. It's his passion. It's what he loves. But, no, he has been absolutely great. I'm very shocked and, excited and happy because, for me, it's a little overwhelming, so it's so nice to have all his help. So he's wonderful.
Well, that's great, but one thing I got to make sure is that I cut this section out in the replay so that my wife doesn't hear that part of it. But
okay.
Sounds like he's making us guys look bad, man.
Yeah, it was one day he came home and we went out to dinner and things like that, and he's sitting there and he goes, "So, did your sister pick up your dress today?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. My sister was in charge of picking up my wedding dress." And he remembered, and he was right. He goes, "Well, just call her, make sure she picked it up." So I called her, and she's like, "Yeah, we were taking bets when you were going to call." I said, "Well, I would have totally forgot, but Jeff reminded me. It's my wedding dress. It's what I'm wearing."
That's true. I bet you didn't forget the spa day, though, did you?
No.
Nobody had to remind you for that. That's for sure. Well, Tracy,
No.
let's talk a little bit about the race season so far. It seems like it's a pretty heated championship year this year.
Yeah, it's very competitive, that's why we race. It makes it fun. It makes you want to race. It makes you, want to train harder. If the competition that isn't there, it makes you sort of slack at home. But you know that your competition is working just as hard as what you are. So there's no slacking. There's really no downtime.
So all in all,
There's not a moment that doesn't go by that you're constantly not thinking about racing. Yes, I was at the spa today, but I'm laying there getting a massage. I'm like, I wonder if we do this to the bike, and if this would make it work better. It's like your mind is always constantly thinking about racing.
Hey, Rodney, if I can interject a little bit here, I don't know if Tracy would be mad at me for divulging her secrets, but I was actually driving last night, or maybe it was the night before, I don't know for sure, and she was texting me, and she was actually studying. Tracy, are we allowed to talk about this, or is this off limits?
No, we can talk about this. I don't want people to think differently of me, though, but it's something I do. Go ahead.
She actually DVRs and records and purchases all the DVDs of past races that are available, and she actually watches the different races, not only her own, but studies and breaks down the races and how they play out, and different race strategies that work, and things that people are doing that are strong, and things that people are doing are a weakness. And she sent me a text randomly out of nowhere, something referring to a race. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then she texts me back and says, I'm studying. I knew she had done this, but I didn't realize, here it is 3 days before her wedding, and she's getting ready for a spa day the next day. And instead of, relaxing and, having some bonbons before bed, she's up at, I'm guessing, actually I think it was last night. It was about 11 o'clock at night, 10:30, 11 o'clock. She was texting me that she was studying, watching different racer TV races and, picking up on things that, not only the women's and utility and, but the pro riders do, and what strengths and weaknesses are and what part of her program. So you're dealing with one intensely focused and motivated little chick right there.
Wow. My question is, Tracy, are you going to be able to stop thinking about racing with a racing theme at your wedding?
Probably not. And plus, a lot of our racing family is going to be there, so it's a constant reminder. But I'm sure for that one day we can relax the minds, and to be honest, we leave right for our honeymoon right away, and when we get back, we have a week before we go to Unadilla. So we have to have everything ready, 2 race bikes ready before we even leave here. So we've been really, really working hard getting, the trailer packed, the gear packed, just, everything ready for racing. So when we get back, it's not stressful. So.
Wow. Man, that seems like a pretty tight
Walker
schedule.
Fowler.
Hello, Walker Fowler.
I had to announce myself.
He makes an entrance.
Yes, he does.
Walker Fowler. Yeah. No, it told me I had to, so here I am.
Well, there you go. Well, you did exactly what
you announce yourself.
What?
It does say announce yourself, so you did it right.
Yes, you did it right. That is wonderful. Well, Walker, thanks for joining us. We're talking with Tracy right now about the wedding, which really seems to be turning back more to the racing than the actual wedding, because that seems to be all she can think about is racing right now.
Well, she's silly.
And that's why you love me, Walker.
Exactly, because, see, the problem is she needs to be thinking about the wedding, because she needs to be thinking about calling it off with old Jeffy, because me and Tracy got it going,
Oh, are you gonna be the one that when the preacher says, "Is there anyone here that knows of any reason why this man or woman should not be wed?" and you're gonna step up? Is that what you're gonna do?
Oh, no, I'm going to come busting through the doors with this number 5 balance racing Yamaha, doing old popple with it, my hands in the air, giving no at the top of my lungs.
And then you're going to sweep her off her feet, throw her on the back, and ride away, right?
Exactly.
And his girlfriend back and knock him out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, is there any way to do like a multi-marriage? What do they call that?
It's called polygamy, and it's only legal in Utah.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, Tracy, can we go to Utah, please?
That kid's going to be like, no more of those photo sessions or those flirt sessions.
Exactly. Well, anyway, I'll shut up now, and you guys can go back to all that fancy talk about weddings and stuff.
Actually, I'll throw one thing in since Walker brought that up. A lot of people ask what made Walker's decision between, he had obviously the opportunity to pursue a career on bikes and also pursue a career on ATVs, and what made him choose, balance racing Yamaha over Impro Yamaha. And the reality of it is, we actually offered Tracy up as a signing bonus that she would marry him someday if he raced 4-wheelers instead. So, unfortunately, we may or may not have used that as bait, and it actually didn't come true. Sorry, buddy.
Ooh.
Yeah, breach of contract.
How much is that going to cost Bill Balance?
That's not an insecure story, though. That actually did happen.
That is true, yeah. Where were we? Was that Lafayette or?
Oh no, you're right.
I don't remember.
He even remembers where it was. It was Lafayette. Yes, it was. It was the Titan in Lafayette, Tennessee.
Wow.
First year we were there.
Wow. You remember it like it was yesterday, huh, Walker?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're talking Tracy Checo. You don't forget that name or face or everything else about her.
Aw, Walker.
And the way she rides.
Hey, oh, that too. Exactly, yeah.
All right. This sounds like fun. You guys are a real tight crew. There's no doubt about it. But we'll get in with that in just a few moments. But Tracy, we're coming to about the 9:26 mark here. So I assume that you probably have got things you want to shift off and do wedding wise. But anyway,
And studying.
and studying. For racing, but can you, for Jeff's sake, kind of focus on the wedding for the next couple of days?
Yes, I will.
Hey,
definitely.
can I ask you this? Where are you guys going on your honeymoon?
Antigua.
Where's that?
It is down, if you look on the map, it's down below Florida. It's a real tiny dot.
Oh, so like a one of those islands or something down there?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's absolutely beautiful down there. Well, at least from the pictures. I'll let you know when I get back.
All righty, yeah, definitely, and I'm sure we'll be following on Facebook. Now, do you have a Twitter account that folks can follow you on and things?
Yes, we do have a Twitter account. We actually have one together, Jeff and I do not have a Facebook account, but if anyone ever needs to get a hold of me, they can just do it through Jeff's Facebook.
Okay. All righty. So that's great. Well, I want to wish you all the luck this weekend and hope the best for a happy and successful life between you and Jeff. And are you going to be going by Tracy Pickens for the rest of the year? Is that how we're going to be announcing you from here on out?
Well, I think for right now we're going to keep it as Tracy Checo till I wrap up this championship. So we're hoping that happens and that comes true, and then we'll go from there.
Well, let me ask you this.
So
Whenever
we're hoping to get a 9th championship, I'll be tied with Mr. Bill Balance.
Wow, 9. That's pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
So, well, will we technically have to start all over with the championship since you're going to be a new woman after this weekend? You'll have to start at 1 after this?
No, I'm not giving them up. They were too much work.
Well, let me ask you this. Have you had the opportunity to rub it into Mr. Bill Balance that you are going to be tying his championship run?
No, I haven't really got the opportunity, but I won't. I don't want to rub it in until I clench it. So, we need to really work hard and get this championship wrapped up. But as soon as I do, I'm definitely going to have to rub it in.
Well, there you go.
I think maybe Johnny Walker could help me out with that, and Gabe, I think they could all help me with that.
Oh, yeah, we've already been talking about it.
Yeah.
It's already been discussed.
Poor old Bill, we'll have to get him.
I'm staying out of it. I don't like to create problems.
Oh no.
Yeah, right. Hey, I sounded like Forster, didn't I? I said, yeah, right.
I guess that's what happens whenever you hang around Johnny.
I guess.
That's the only reaction you can come up with. Yeah, right.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Well, all right, Chasey. Good to hear from you tonight. Like I said, I just want to wish you good luck and hope that everything goes well and smooth. And I'm looking forward to seeing the pictures.
All right, sounds good, Rodney. And thank you so much for having me on Quad Radio. It's been an honor, and I'll be listening maybe to your last half hour and see what else happens in the next half hour. So.
Alrighty, sounds real good. Hopefully we got a lot of laughs, and hopefully there are not too many. If they start picking on you, Tracy, you have the option to call back in and defend yourself, okay?
All right, sounds great.
Or you can hang on the line and defend yourself. It's whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Alrighty, and I just heard someone chime in there. I know Walker Fowler's already with us, so I'm assuming that's one Chris Borich.
Yes, sir.
Well, how you doing tonight, Chris?
Good. Just
finished up with dinner and figured give you guys a call.
Well, great. We just
now we got the showdown. we got Chris and Walker on the line at the same time. We can just get them trash talking each other and get this last 4 races hyped up.
Oh, wow. I tell you what, Johnny, you know the best of both worlds right there. I'm going to turn my microphone down, and I'm just going to sit back and let you stir the pot.
Oh, no.
Are we starting to
Oh, boy.
I figured we'd at least ease them in. Like, how you doing, Chris? How's your summer break been? That kind of stuff before we start right up with so who's going to win Unadilla? It's quiet. Nobody wants to say anything. So, Rodney, are you really? We just going to start right with the trash talk, or should we at least let Chris in?
No, I think we should. Let's go ahead and Gabe Phillips is along with us. Gabe, thanks for hanging with us. We'll get with you here in a few minutes because I want to get out. I know it's had to have been a trip to have gone out there with Johnny G and Walker. So I want to hear the dirt and the details about that. So stick around for that. But Chris, welcome to the Quad Radio Live, man. This is your first ever visit, I believe, with Quad Radio Live. Hello, you there?
Oh, Chris?
Yeah. I was breaking up a little bit. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, so, well, that's not nothing important there. But what's been going on, man?
Oh, not much. Just doing stuff around the house, working on bikes, trying to get everything ready for these last 4 races.
Wow, man. Has it been a busy off season for you? I mean, have you been kind of just relaxing a little bit, or have you stayed just as nose to the grindstone as you always do?
No, not really. I took a couple weeks off. I actually went to Ocean City, Maryland for a week, and went down again for another weekend, and just been having fun with it. Just trying to hit some local races now, get back into the grind, and I know we're probably 3 weeks away, so trying to get back at it, finish, get the Unadilla, hopefully do good there, and go on.
Wow, man. A pretty remarkable season for you so far, for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, won 8 out of 9, so I wish I would have got that other one, but no biggie. But just hopefully, like I said, do good at these last 4, and already looking for next year.
There you go. That's nice. And let's put that in the grand scheme of things. What are we looking at as far as what's it going to take to seal the championship? If you were able to seal the championship up early, would you have to win like 2 more races and it would be a done deal, or how would that all work?
From the way the points look right now, it looks like I got 100 in overall and 90 in class. That's all I'd have to do. Basically, if I'd go to the next round and win that one, it's over.
Nice.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Not meaning to rub it in there, Walker.
Crap. Yeah, it's like I just ate my Wheaties, and I'm going to win by 3,000 points. So I mean, everyone just quit.
Now he said, if I win Unadilla, he should be able to wrap it up. And Chris, you know as well as anybody that if is a bigger if this year probably than it has been in years past, because the talent field is so deep. The challenges that you've met this year have been from so many.
Yeah, it wasn't just one person. I mean, pretty much everybody on that front row. I mean, there's a lot of competition out there, and just everybody. So it's been definitely a good year for me, but I know everybody else had some bad luck and struggled here at the beginning. But everybody wants it, so it's just determination who wants it more and who can put themselves in a position at the right time and go from there.
Now, Chris, I know that's funny. You say who wants it more, and with Walker on here, Walker, could you want it any more than you want it right now, or can you want it more?
No, actually, you know what? I don't want it at all. I'm just letting Chris have one good year. Just sure I give it to him,
Well, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome, Chris. No, I mean, I want it bad for sure, and I think I know Taylor wants it bad. I actually talked to him yesterday for the first time in a while. I know we've been taking some time off and just kind of been doing our own thing. But I know, I know Taylor wants it, and I know McGill's back, from injury and getting strong, and I know he's looking, for some wins and good races. And we're basically at this point, realistically, besides Chris, everyone's pretty well looking towards 2013. We know it's pretty much over. We can go out and put in some pretty good races and maybe get a win or something at the end of the year. But basically, championship-wise, unless something really catastrophic would happen, it's pretty well over. So I know I'm looking forward to next year. Get a year under my belt. But it would be nice to go out with a bang per se. But just keeping the ball rolling, I guess.
There you go. Now, Chris, if you're able to wrap this championship up, say after Unadilla, do you have any special plans for the last 3 races of doing anything any different, just for the fun of sake or the sake of fun or anything like that, or sake of doing something different?
I haven't really thought about it. I thought about doing something different as far as maybe a different bike running. Suzuki right now really isn't helping out all that much, so I thought about if I would wrap it up early and maybe one of the last races, plus something different. But just thinking right now, I mean, it might happen, it might not. So. Hey,
man, I bet you Walker let you borrow a bike.
I don't want to beat him on his own bike.
Hey, Chris, I have a better idea, Chris.
What's that?
Can you just not show up?
I'll start on the starting line and then just pull off and watch.
Yeah, get the whole shot award and then just pull off. Maybe go, grab a microphone with Rodney.
Maybe we could get him to ride a Kimco.
There you go.
Chris is an animal, and as Walker said, I believe it was Kentucky Spirit, about as close to Superman as any human being can be. But I'm sorry, Chris. I'll tell you right now. We put you on a Kimco. You are not winning. There is I'll tell you right now. I said I wouldn't make any more bets because I just lost one that is going to make me get a tattoo. But I personally will put $10,000 on the line if Chris Boris can win a GNCC PM overall on an out of the box stock Kimco. The reason why I say that is because Chris could go get a Kimco and then totally build like an aftermarket frame and build the motor and basically make it a race bike. So no, a stock Kimco. If he can win a PM overall on it, I'll give him 10 G's.
Whoa, that's a challenge.
That is a challenge.
Well, I think we all know it ain't happening, buddy. Those things have like 11 horsepower, and they break in half the first time you move 4 inches on them.
Chris is thinking this over, I think.
He's like, no championship bonus from Suzuki this year, but I could make $10,000 off Johnny G.
Yeah. I'm already searching on the internet for a Kimco right now.
He probably is. He's got his phone in his hand 24/7, so I guarantee you he's on Craigslist right now searching for something, a $9,000 road bike or who knows what else.
That's the life of being a champion, man. That's what's putting all the hard work in. You reap the benefits like that. So Chris,
Rodney, you said earlier, and we were kind of joking about stirring the pot a little bit between Chris and Walker, but I spent a lot of time with both these guys, and Chris busts my chops all the time about the time I spend with Walker, and Walker doesn't really say too much about the time I spend with Chris, but I can tell you from being with both these guys, they both have a immense amount of respect for each other, and although they when the green flag drops, they're certainly out to beat each other. They both respect each other, and I know Walker being the young gun coming up looks up to Chris and everything that he's done, and although he wants to beat him, I think he still kind of looks at Chris maybe a little bit as the teacher and Walker's the student, and Chris he won't admit if there's a little bit different tone in his voice when he talks about Walker than some of his other competitors, because I think he knows that.
Oh, stand by. We have a little bit of an issue here, and we'll be right back with you here on Quad Radio Live. Technical difficulties.
Please announce yourself.
On there? Hello?
Yep, we're here. I'm here.
I don't know what happened there. My wife just did something, and I pushed a button, and I lost you guys. So sorry about that. But we are back up and rolling live here on Quad Radio. See, I love technical difficulties. Gave me a chance to play some really cool music too. So, but anyway, sorry about that, guys. What did I miss?
I think they're gone.
I'm still here.
Oh, you're still there?
Gabe's here.
Gabe's here?
Yep.
All right. And, all right. Well, with everybody gone and everything like that, I guess we can continue. Gabe, stand by. We'll get with you here in just a second. But, here they come. I think they're – who we got now?
Yeah, it's me. I'm back.
All right. Sorry about that. I pushed a button on my end, and I caused that whole debacle right there.
I didn't know what happened. I thought it was me.
No, that's like I said. I've said before, when you got this thing put together with a Band-Aid, sometimes you move in the wrong direction. I'm standing on one foot right now, and trying to make it all happen. But anyway, where were we? Did I miss anything good while I was off?
I think when you got disconnected, we all did. I think I was mid explanation of the respect that Walker and Chris have for each other, and kind of going from there. And I don't know how much of that everybody caught, but now let's get to the pot stirring.
There you go. And I think Walker may be back with us, right, Walker?
I have returned. Look out.
All right. Sorry about that. Like I told everybody else here, that was kind of my fault right there. So we got that all taken care of. And funny, we got a funny noise coming through the phone right now, though. But at any rate, so let's stir the pot. Johnny, like I said, I'm just going to turn this thing down. I'm going to give you a few minutes because you are such good friends with these guys, and you can probably find the funniest and the most informational stuff that we can get, I guess.
Is Chris here?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, so we got Chris and Walker. You're here as well?
Yeah, as long as his phone holds out.
All right. Walker's got Walker definitely doesn't have the 4 championships or 3, working on 4, and the taste for the finer things in life that Chris does. If you've ever seen Walker's phone, it's literally held together with like rubber bands and bubble gum.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Coming out tomorrow, so he's going to stand in line tonight, or have someone else stand in line for him, to overnight.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Who did we just now lose?
That doesn't sound good.
No, that sounds like that might have been Johnny. He did say he was traveling, so we can you almost got to wonder where he's going with that little question there, though,
Yeah, that dude's always on the move.
All right, so we all know that Chris has got some pretty cool stuff going on, and we know that Walker, you were with these guys. Now, Chris, why didn't you go to race the Heartland Challenge, or did you?
No, I didn't make it. I thought about going, but just got too much stuff going on around here with building race bikes, getting stuff ready, and then also just working around the house as well. So just too much stuff going on. I mean, I always like doing those races, so maybe next year we'll try to find a team and go out and do it.
Now, I know that there's been some rumor and some talk of some guys going out and doing some works races this fall, possibly. Are you thinking about doing a works race after the championship here on the East Coast?
I thought about going out, but I'm probably not going to do it. Just stick around here and just keep concentrating on the GNCC side right now, and try to finish the season out with some good races here, and go from there.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds like things are going good. Now, Johnny, did you make it back?
Yeah, cell phone sucked.
I figured that's
my
right.
road, Johnny.
Yeah, mine's not even band-aided and duct taped together, though.
How old is your cell phone, Walker?
I think the BlackBerry's 5 years, and I had one of those Casio Commandos that they advertise on the X Games commercials that, like, have them strapped on to underneath, like, the rally cars, and they're surfing with it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you that that's all bogus. It doesn't do any of that.
Really?
And they don't make good hammers. Yeah, they don't make good hammers. So.
So you're back to the BlackBerry. And Chris, how old is
Well,
your
I
phone?
was.
What was that?
How old is your phone?
Probably just about a year old. I got an iPhone. I went to, was it with AT&T, went to Verizon, hated it, and now I'm back with AT&T on an iPhone.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's nowhere near a year. He got it in like early March. So
Well, it's been almost a racing year.
yeah. But to Chris Bohr, it's 6 months of something not new is a year. So he changes socks like most people change their socks.
Now, let me ask you guys this question. The final round of 2012 at Loretta's, if I'm not mistaken, are they not switching that around to where ATVs will be racing Sunday and bikes will be racing on Saturday?
Yep.
Yep, unfortunately.
Yeah. Now, okay, that right there, that sounds cool. Now, why do you say unfortunately? Is that something that this is a big question that I've been wondering about.
Dirt bike ruts are not fun on a four-wheeler. And vice versa. I know that firsthand that quad ruts suck on a bike too, but I don't know, we get pampered, the last 35,000 years, however long it's been that quads go first, we kind of get pampered with a decently fresh track, but then once the bikes go out there and kill it, then we get to kill it. I don't know, it's a lot rougher, we're twice as wide and half the suspension and double the weight, so when we're the last ones to be out there after the bikes tear it up, it is beyond rough.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it either. It definitely sucks, but at the same time, and I don't think Walker's complaining either, but, you can't complain because those guys put up with, completely blown out track, 13 races a year normally, and, last 2 years, 12 races. So for once a year, if they want to flip it, and, we run on Sunday, I'm certainly not going to complain. Those guys deal with our trashed tracks when we're done with them, so we can do it once a year.
Yeah,
I'm not looking
absolutely.
forward to it. It's going to suck.
No.
I mean, I'll probably cry after the race or during maybe, but nonetheless, it's fair is fair, I guess.
Chris Borich,
Yep.
how do you feel about riding in the bike ruts?
Some of the local races I've ran in the bike ruts, and it definitely does suck. But like those guys were saying, I mean, they do it 13 races out of the year most of the time. For us to do it one time to run in their ruts, I don't think it's going to be too terrible, but the track is going to be blown out, so it'll be definitely an interesting race.
Now, what about
Chris
you?
Walker both.
Go ahead.
You got Gabe there too. See what he thinks about it.
All right, Gabe, what do you think about riding the ruts of bikes, man?
It's going to suck, but I think it'll be all right. It's what we run all the time around here. We always run after the dirt bikes, so it won't be that bad.
There you go. All right, now what was you going to say about Chris Bach there, Johnny?
I was going to say that, Chris and Walker, they're both guys that, kind of thrive in adverse conditions, the rougher it gets. I mean, I think we could all agree that Unadilla is probably the nastiest, roughest track as far as just how destroyed the property is during the race. I mean, it's a beautiful facility, but the track itself is just destroyed. And, you look at those guys last year, obviously they were the two it came down to for the overall with, Walker getting the best of it actually on that one from the second row. But I know that'll be a good one for people to watch. Walker's he's going to celebrate, damn it. But, obviously we'll be there in about a month, and, those two will be going head-to-head. But, it's different for them. They're not human. I mean, they thrive in conditions that other people struggle in. And, when it gets that rough, obviously, come to Unadilla, come to Loretta's, come to Steel Creek. I mean, those are the guys that are up there pushing it. Even though they say it sucks, they're just, that next level better than everybody, and they thrive on the pain, I think, is what it comes down to.
For sure. For sure. So with that said, I have what are y'all expecting out of Unadilla? Like Walker, you won there last year, and that's got to be, I guess, positive reinforcement for Gabe back there on the second row. And I know that Chris is looking forward to saying, hey, let's race straight up and see if you can beat me.
Yeah, I know he's going to say that for sure, and obviously he's listening. So I know, it's right in his backyard. It's his kind of soil, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. I really enjoy the track. It's just, like Johnny said, super rough, just big whoops, and I don't know, it's just something about that track. I've always had really good luck there, and I do really well. It's just kind of a hangout. Who can hang on the longest? Basically like Kentucky. I went out there and told myself I was going to get the whole shot and just try to drop as many people as possible. And by the end of it, it was mono and e-mono. Me and Chris. And honestly, nothing taking nothing away from anybody else out there, but that's the way I just assume it'd be. Me and him at the end. That's especially as a rookie. That's the dream. I'd love. It was so fun. We went back and forth, and he was pushing me, and I don't even really care that I got beat. I was stoked that I got second. So, but
right.
It's going to be a good track, and I know Chris always does really well at the other races too. Ironman, he's going to be tough to beat at. Obviously, he does awesome there. So, I'm just going to kind of hold on, and hope for the best. But, and then also I think this past weekend. Gabe Phillips is on here with us. He really impressed me, and I could see him, possibly being a threat for at least the top 5 overall for sure. The track got really rough at night, and he was actually the last guy to go out when the track was completely killed out in Iowa, and put down some really impressive lap times on my bike too. He was, not even a machine he was comfortable with. So, I'm really looking forward to see how he does, and that's a good track that, from the second row, obviously, if you're ready to hang it out and go for it, if you can latch onto the pace, it's obviously doable. So, looking forward to seeing what he can do.
Yeah, for sure. Now, Walker and Chris, have you guys had a chance to talk about the races, how close those couple of races that you guys had this year? I mean, do you guys sit down and laugh about that, or is it just something that you guys just a subject you try to avoid maybe?
No, I think we talk about it a little bit. I mean, it's not a big conversation about it, but I mean, we definitely after the race, if we're up on the podium together, we get the bullshit a little bit, and that's pretty much about it. I mean, talk about some of the key spots where we had some good battles, and that's about it.
Right.
We always extend Walker the invitation to come down to to my trailer after the race for the post race milk and cookies. But he usually got the balance racing post race debriefing that he's got to do. So sometimes Becca, his girlfriend, comes down and hangs out. But maybe after the break, Walker can make it down. But usually all the bench racing happens down at my trailer because I'm old, so everybody feels bad. They don't want to make me walk anywhere, so they all come down and check on me and make sure I'm still alive after the race. So I know after Kentucky, McClure and myself and Chris and Kevin Yoho and Wolf and at Bithel, I mean everybody kind of just comes down, and Dawn makes cookies, and there's always a couple gallons of milk. So Walker has an invite, but I know they're Bill runs a pretty tight ship down there, so they got stuff to talk about after the race. But maybe you could get your post-race meetings done quick in Unadilla and come down and BS a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. If I would just win, I'd be out of there in a heartbeat. But, I got to keep... freaking Chris keeps beating me, so I have to sit there and get yelled at about how crappy I am and how I'm not doing my job. So, as soon as I win a race, I'll be down there,
See that, Chris? It's like he's in detention just because you keep beating him.
It's fine, dude. Just let somebody else win, dang it.
After Unadilla, I'll let you.
Now
I need to get one more.
Now, if somebody beats you straight up, Chris, they're going to think that you let them win.
Yeah, exactly. So we just took the fun out of it.
You got on there. He said after Unadilla. So basically, that was laying a challenge right there, saying that, hey, I'm going to win Unadilla, wrap up this championship, and then so Walker I mean, that's your gauntlet right there. I mean, if you want to get things rolling right for 2013, you need to come out and say, hey, Chris, I took Unadilla off you, so, even if you let me win the rest from here on out, even if you wrap up the championship, I took the one you wanted, right? So this is where the trash talk going.
Yeah.
This is how we start. See now, my theory is Chris has to pony up and do the sky shot, and if he's going to do it, he's going to have a whip off and a knack-knack throwing competition. So that's the only way I'm even game.
Ooh.
Maybe. We'll see what happens.
Actually,
All right.
Chris didn't get as much love, Walker, but he did do the pretty gnarly big double going off the moto track, and I don't think you did either.
Oh, thanks for throwing me under the bus. Trying to have my one moment of glory here.
Well, dude, I'm a neutral party. I'm Switzerland. But, dude, that sky shot was sick. And, heck, we were out in Iowa last weekend, and people were coming up to Walker saying, and they were serious. They're driving from Kansas to Unadilla just to watch Walker do the sky shot. But, the one thing that nobody really got to see in the race coverage or any of the videos online, Chris actually made the pass for the physical win.
The win. For the win.
Well, no, it was Walker, you got the overall. That's
No. Damn it, Johnny, shut your mouth. I want to talk.
I made the physical pass on Bissell on that gnarly double coming off the moto track. It doesn't even look like it should be a double. I saw some of the best bike riders on Sunday. Sandoval actually put it in the fence twice trying to jump it, and that's where Chris made the pass on Bissell, which doesn't show up on any of the video footage or any of the TV coverage from that event. So,
made the fence.
And somehow made the turn into the fence. Don't ask me how, but I'm sure Bissell's still scratching his head on that one for sure. But it was. So I think those two need to once they're hooked up together, they'll push each other. And who knows? They'll be quadruple and stuff. It's only meant to be singles on the moto track this year.
Mm. Chris, are you much of a motocrosser?
Yeah, I like doing it. I mean, that sky shot for me, it wasn't really necessary for me to do it during the race. Nobody was doing it in front of me, so I didn't feel like I needed to do it and land on anybody. So, but if there's somebody else that's doing it and it's faster and they're pulling me there, yeah, I'll do it. So it's not a big deal to me. I mean, like I said, if somebody's going to hit it, I'll chase them and do it. But everybody that was in front of me wasn't doing it, so.
What about hill kickers and cans and all that stuff?
I'm thinking about busting out a backflip off of it.
That would be sick.
Show the Miller brothers who's boss.
That would be like the most epic thing that ever took place in a GNCC, I think, at that point.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
That'd be sick.
All right. So, Chris, man, I tell you, it's really, really good to talk. Any words of wisdom to these youngsters? I know you can't give anything. You can't tell Johnny anything. He's thick-headed as anybody, and he's already older than everybody. But anyway, is there any words of wisdom that you have for, like, say, Gabe and Walker as they literally begin their pro careers, I guess you could say?
I honestly don't know. I mean, if you want it bad enough, you put the time in, and it just takes time. I mean, I've been in Walker's shoes, and I've dealt with Bill Balance for a while and trying to battle him, and he was just definitely smarter than me. I think I had more speed than him, but he was definitely smarter, and it definitely took a long time to realize what I needed to do, and prepping the bike's a big thing as well. So, there's a lot of things that go into it while you're out there on the track. So, I don't know, just you want it bad enough, you just keep training, figuring out little things here and there, and eventually it'll come. But, I don't know, right now I'm feeling probably the best I've ever felt, and looking forward to these last four, get these out of the way, and I know all these guys are talking about 2013, so I'm already definitely looking forward to that and getting rolling.
All righty, Chris. Sounds real good. I want to thank you for being a part of Quad Radio tonight. You're welcome to stick around and interject at any point and defend yourself. I'm sure that they'll take some jabs at you if you get offline. So.
Sports sucks.
Yeah, it was good. It was definitely good talking to you guys. I'm actually probably going to hop off here and watch some TV, grab a quick shower. But, yeah, definitely thanks for having me on, and have fun talking.
All right, man. Have a good night.
All right, guys. We'll see you.
All right.
See you, Chris.
That's Chris Borch. He watches TV, man. I didn't know that Superman watched TV.
Yeah, he watches Teen Mom a lot.
Yeah, or 16 and pregnant, I heard, too.
Yep. 16 and pregnant, Teen Mom, Jersey Shore, those are shows.
He's a really
Yeah.
TV generation, huh? So,
Dance moms.
No, I can't say too much because I'm actually headed to his house right now. So when I get there, if I don't go with trash, I'll be sleeping out in the driveway. The door will be locked.
don't want to have to sleep in the truck tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, Gabe Phillips, man, I know that you've been waiting for like an hour, dude, and you've got to talk a little bit, but as they say, we save the best for last. Let's talk about this Heartland Challenge. Johnny and Walker and Gabe, you all three had the opportunity to work together on this, man. It seems like it was a pretty good time.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I had a freaking blast. I've always wanted to go out and do it, and I just never had a team to go. And I mean, it was just more than expected, even more.
That's great. Now, how did you end up on their team?
Actually, I was at Bissell's Lake House party, and Johnny asked me, and was thinking about it. And
I had a couple too many and wasn't thinking straight, and I was like, I can't look on our team. And now we're stuck with him. No, I'm kidding. No, he killed it out there. Actually, Gabe did an awesome job, and we couldn't be more pumped. I know Walker was really impressed. I was impressed, and he actually he turned better laps than I did after dark, and I think our laps were just about the same during the day. So, he was strong. He definitely pulled his weight for sure.
That's great. Gabe, what was it? Was this the first opportunity you ever had to hang with these guys?
Yeah, I mean, I've hung out with Johnny before, but I mean, just me and Walker. The only time I've seen him was like at the races or whatever. But I mean, I think we became really good friends, and I mean, it was a really good time. So came out there with the win and a really good time.
That sounds like it. It sounds like it was a good time whenever you were having the invite. That's what I want to hear about, man. How did it all lead up to that?
Well, we was on a boat, stranded on Deep Creek Lake out of gas.
Yeah, we did have oars though.
Yeah.
You were up Deep Creek with an oar though, right?
Yeah, we had an oar, just one oar in like a 20-foot boat, so it wasn't working out so hot.
That's where Gabe got his training in for the event.
Yep.
So you guys just hanging out there?
I'll step back tomorrow.
So you guys was just hanging out there, and the sun beating down on you, and Johnny says, "Hey man, you want to be on the team?" Or was he talking about it, and you were thinking, "Man, I hope he asked me"? I mean, how'd that all work?
You want to answer that one, Johnny?
Oh.
Huh?
Gabe, looks like it's all you.
We may have lost Johnny again.
No, I mean, we was just hanging out and everything, and he was actually going to ask, I think they were going to ask Kevin Yoho, but he had a wedding to be in last weekend, and then they asked me like a few days later, and I was just like, yeah, I definitely want to go, and I mean, I was glad they asked me, because I've always wanted to do one, so.
Yeah, so it was kind of a last-minute thing for you then, I guess, huh?
I kind of knew probably about a month in advance, but we just kind of kept it hush-hush, I guess. I didn't really tell very many people about it.
Right. And so what was the experience like for you? Tell me about it from your perspective. And Walker, feel free to interject any time.
All right.
Well, I mean, I didn't really know what to expect on the way out and everything, and I mean, it was just, I got to Walker's dad's place in Ohio, and it was just like, everybody was real cool with everything, and we just got on the road, and then Johnny started singing his John Deere Green songs, kind of put a yender
What?
on it. But
What?
other than that,
He sings John Deere Green songs?
yeah.
Gabe, you have to sing a couple lines, please.
I don't know it.
Come on. I don't know the song.
I don't know it. We'll see if he'll back in.
Is that the only song he sang, or is he one of those kind that sings to the radio a lot?
No, it was my bed sheets that I had were like John Deere green and everything, you know, like the emblems and little tractors and stuff on it, John Deere tractors on it. And every morning, every night before I go to bed, he would see and just start singing that John Deere Green song.
True story. Yeah. My dad keeps all these like toddler bed sheets in the motorhome. I don't know why. I ended up with Dalmatians, and I think Dad ended up with some like some Indian tribal quilt thing, and I forget what Johnny had, but Rockstar brought his own bedding. But it was pretty funny, just hilarious. I don't know, Gabe, like I said, he just I actually had to go to Kentucky and pick up Brock, and Gabe and Johnny and my dad all went out and flight 005, and I had to leave with my dad for 2 days. Basically, they left it like 3 weeks before the event. So,
Wow.
I don't even understand. They left. They left like 5 days early or something.
Like 3 o'clock.
We didn't race until Saturday.
Well, you had to acclimate yourself
So-
to the conditions.
It's flat.
It's flat.
Flat. A lot of corn. That's about it.
Well,
Yeah.
what?
So.
An 800-mile trip is probably about 500 miles of it was corn
Wow.
and beans.
Wow.
Indeed.
What
Dried
is
up-
the
dried
Heartland
up
Challenge all about? I mean, what is it? What is it exactly?
Gabe, or
Go ahead.
got it. All right. Basically, it's a 10-hour team race. You're allowed 3 riders per team and 3 machines. Basically, the quickest way to do it is to have 3 guys all ride one bike, but obviously it tears up your equipment pretty bad to try and make something last that long. So the 3 of us all had our own machines, and I started. We try to do. If you split 10 hours 3 ways, it's like 9. Or my bad. That's how good my math is anymore. But it's 3 hours and change. So we try to do like an hour and a half the first go around to try and make up for that last hour. Johnny jumped on his bike. I think he got 5 laps, didn't he, Gabe?
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, he got his 5 in and come in and jumped on Gabe's bike, and when Gabe left, he didn't know this at the time, but Johnny's like, oh, my motor's already going. They haven't had rain out there to win. So it was so dusty, and I guess Johnny says his motor was going. I think he just wanted to ride our other bikes because he knew how much better me and Gabe's bikes were. And he's the only guy other than Chris Biffle that runs the twist throttle anymore. I used to, and I made the old switch to the thumb unit. So I think he wanted to get a taste of how to properly ride a thumb, which he did awesome on. So
That's great.
anyway, Gabe went out, turned 4 laps. We had a little miscommunication. We didn't get to run him long the first time. I jumped back on my bike. Then after that, obviously, we just wanted to do 4 laps so he could come in and get a drink and get some food in you, keep from cramping after all that time. And Johnny rode my bike, and then Gabe went out and did 1 lap on his, and a head pipe broke just in a real odd place. And so he jumped on my bike, and basically we finished it on mine. If we had a pipe ready to go on Gabe's, but the Dirtworks crew of Brian Lane, Michael Burrows, and Dwayne Johnson, they kept us honest all night, and we never actually had a big enough leak where we could come in and change a pipe on his bike. So it just was kind of a bummer. I know those guys weren't comfortable with my setup. They're a little bit bigger guys than I am. Gabe's like 7'5". So
Gabe
I mean,
Ham?
hey, Gabe Ram like it. So you just
Did he run the beard?
No.
You did not run the beard.
Exactly.
What up with that,
Yep,
man?
and I was even we even went through Abraham Lincoln's state.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, if we would have been in Illinois, we'd have been in good shape. Or was he Iowa? Or was he Kentucky? Where the heck was he from?
He was from Illinois. He was from Kentucky, and maybe even Iowa. I don't know. There was a couple, but I think Illinois and Kentucky are the two main places that pretty much claim him for the most part.
Yeah. And somehow Gabriel Phillips is from West by God, Virginia. So.
By golly. You know it.
Yeah.
But,
Middle of nowhere.
yep. But, yeah, back to the original question, what's it all about? Basically, it's 3 guys, 3 machines you're allowed, and you go out there and just turn as many laps as you can. I think of it's in the day, 4 hours at night. And they built this thing. It's actually the Heartland Challenge of the Heartland Challenge. They basically built an enduro cross section, and I don't know, it's tough. Got a bunch of telephone poles, and then they dug like a trench out between 2 telephone poles, filled it up with car tires, and this thing's just trying to wrap up and everything. So that's a challenge. You get over that, there's a little like teepee-looking thing, telephone poles you climb over, and then you got this pyramid. There you go. And then you climb over this concrete chunk. Basically, it's a bunch of little pieces of concrete that have the most terrible jagged edges you've ever seen, and basically it's like 45 seconds or something longer to go around it, and there's just like 1 set of tires. Basically, they just have a big GP track out in the field, and you just rip around in it if you go around, but to be competitive, you basically have to do this challenge, so things can happen in it too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anybody have any issues? You guys have any issues there?
I got stuck in it whenever it started raining.
How about
I got hung on top. I got hung on top of the big stack of telephone poles just for trying to push my foot one time when it was raining. But other than that, I made it through every time.
So you guys got a little bit of everything thrown at you.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like Gabe said, it ended up actually raining probably at the 6-hour mark, which was a godsend. We definitely needed it late to us, but anywhere that was hardpack or in the open fields, it became an ice skating rink.
Yeah, it was sketchy, and I was actually on the bike when it started raining, and all the hardpack stuff turned to ice, and it also happened to coincide perfectly with when it started to get dark, and we didn't have the headlight hooked up on Walker's bike because we'd kind of gotten out of rotation on what bike we'd be on with some different bike issues, and I didn't think it was going to get dark that quick, so I didn't have helmet lights on, so I was in the woods after dark with no lights, and it was raining and slick, so super sketchy. I was scared out of my mind. I just cried for Mama and called it a night.
But you still ended up winning, man. That's what's even cooler, huh?
Yeah. I don't know how much you guys talked about already. I obviously lost there for a little while, but Dwayne Johnson, Mike Burrows, and Ryan Lane all at one point or another have been good top XC1 GNCC guys. Obviously, I think Lane was like number 8 or number 9 last year, and a few years back, Dwayne Johnson was number 3. And Burrows was an XC1 guy just a couple years ago as well. So all solid riders, and they ran us tough all day long. There was another team there as well. Jody Estes, Spencer Dickerson, and struggling for their third rider's name, but they ran tough. There were some pro-am teams that ran tough. So we worked really well as a team, and were able to bring home the win. So it was pretty cool. It was a good experience, and like Gabe said before, we kind of all went out there. Walker and I obviously get to spend a lot of time together. We live only 45 minutes away from each other. Like several times throughout the week, and ride together a couple times a week on a good week. And but Gabe's about 4 hours away from us. I've got to hang out with him a little bit down at Biffle's Lake House during the summer for like vacation type stuff, and run into him here and there in Florida during the winter. But got to spend almost 6 days straight with him locked in motorhome. So got to know him a lot better. And then Danny Fowler and Brock Booth were along for the trip as well. So they were a big help, obviously, in the pits and prepping the bikes and getting us through it. As Gabe so eloquently put it on Twitter, and very, very, I don't know what the word is for it, it takes teamwork to make the dream work. So we definitely worked as a team and made it happen. And Gabe and Walker actually ended up cuddling Saturday night, so that was kind of
the ice, icing on the cake, and that's a true story.
Yeah, that's
The John Deere Green song.
yeah, John Deere screaming. It's like just a lullaby. That's where I ended up. After 10 hours, you're awful tired, and you don't care where you sleep. So
Yeah,
Gabe had to scoot over.
we were all pretty tired, and we decided that bed was closer than the one he was supposed to sleep in, so he and Gabe ended up cuddle buddies.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
Gabe
I
doesn't
guess.
think so, though, huh?
No, he wasn't expecting it, to say the least. Like I said, that's just where I found myself. So
It was definitely an unsolicited cuddle session. Gabe did not solicit it. He was just sitting there, just like, whatever, dude. I'm really tired. It's time for bed. If you're gonna sleep in my bed, that's fine. I don't care.
Well, that's good.
We definitely made some fans out there though. We after the race, we went out and just kind of walked around and talked to people, and it's amazing. A lot of those guys don't get to come east for too many races. It's just so far. So with the exception of some of the utility guys, I think we were the only GNCC guys that went out this year. A couple of utility guys, Blake Swift, Kevin Trantham, Zach Sikowski, Brian McKinnon, Forrest Ward, and a couple other guys, went out. But I think we were the only XD1 and XD2 guys, from this end of the country that went out there. So they were stoked to have us out there. And those Iowa, Kansas, Nebraska folks, they're seriously GNCC fans and off-road racing fans in general. There's a few of them I think that were actually choked up to actually get to meet Walker and Gabe and myself. And,
Wow.
That's something we're not used to. I mean, we're just, loving what we do, living the dream. I'm sure Walker and Gabe kind of both agree. I mean, it's awesome to be able to do this and meet all the people that we meet and go the places we go, and to meet people that are like, hey, we watch you on Racer TV, and I ride this bike because it's what you ride, or I'm really pulling for you to win a championship or win a race, or at my age I have guys come up to me that are just stoked because I'm still out there doing it and holding it up. And Brian Holsey, who's funny guys. I'm glad you guys think that's cute. But
they're just happy he's still able to hold on the handlebar.
Yeah, I'm still able to keep myself upright on the bike without a back brace. But Brian Holsey was out there. He's from, I believe he's from Missouri. I think he's actually been on the podium at a GNCC, if I'm not mistaken, overall back in probably like the mid to late 90s. And he's in the late 30s, and he tells me, he's like, man, I remember when you were the young kid, a couple of years younger than me, and now you're the oldest guy out there. And it's just awesome to get to go different places, and it's always cool, whether it's a local riding area or a local race or kind of national when the fans come up, or going to an event like that where not too many of the East Coast guys get out that far. It was really cool, and I know Walker and Gabe kind of made the same comments, but it's just cool to get to hang out with those guys. So like I said, we even though we were pretty tired, we were up early, put in a lot of hard riding that day. We stayed up after the award ceremonies were over at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. We stayed up several hours, walked the pits, hung out with some guys, and it was fun. It was definitely a good experience.
Well, that's great. And Gabe, how about you, man? Overall experience, man. I mean, what do you rate it?
A 10.
A 10. What was the most memorable part of it for you?
We're doing a lot of. What's that?
What was the most memorable part of that trip for you, other than Johnny singing John Deere Green to you and singing to sleep, and Walker cuddling with you on Saturday night after the race? What what other special moments?
I mean, there's a lot of it's probably just the people that was out there. I mean, it was just everybody. I mean, there's guys from like Nebraska and everything, and I mean, they were like was there whenever me and Johnny and Danny was there Thursday, and they came over and hung out for a while. And I mean, it was just they was like, what I mean, said how cool it was to meet us and everything, and that we was seen us on Racer TV and all that stuff. And I mean, we hung out with those guys even after the race, and they was a pretty rowdy bunch too. But I mean, there's some good guys though.
That's great.
I mean, just everybody out there. I mean, like was so pumped to meet us and everything. I mean, Walker and Johnny's been out there before, but I haven't. So I mean, it was just everybody was with open arms. I mean, but it was a good time.
That's great. That's great. And Walker, what about you, man? What was the special moments for you?
Oh, I mean, definitely just getting to go out there. It's something, it's not a GNCC race. It's a lot more strategy. And honestly, come, December time, one of the things that gets brought.
I think we might have just lost Walker.
He was mid-sentence. I think what he was going to say is the part that he remembers the most is that he got to ride with Johnny Gallagher, and I'm a hero, and, when he was younger, he just wanted to be just like me. So for him to get to be on a team with me was a dream come true for him. And, that's pretty much the whole day, so I'll just go ahead and finish it out for him.
I think you're right. That sounded exactly like where he was going with that.
Or not, but that's my version of the story, and nobody can debate it.
Exactly. Unless he calls back in and tries to debate that, he's never going to know unless he listens to the replay anyway. What about you, Johnny? Tell me about it. I mean, winning that thing had to be something pretty spectacular for you at your age.
Yeah, it was. Oh, come on! Now, why you got to throw that in there?
I was just kidding, man. No,
I mean, at my age, I can still do what Johnny does.
I rib Johnny in good fun, and in all honesty, that's impressive that he's still as competitive as he is, and I think he's got probably one that he might pull out eventually because, hey, man, like I say, you just won that. I mean, it is good to be able to win like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was awesome to be able to win that. We actually won the inaugural event in 2008, myself and Taylor Kaiser and Brandon Summers. And at that point, I was the old guy on the team. Taylor was probably 23 at the time. Brandon would have been like 24 at the time. Now those guys are all old married men. Taylor got married this past summer. Brandon got married at the end of 2010 and is actually retired from full-time racing. And so back then I was the old guy and was pretty stoked to be able to hold my own with those two. I think at the time Taylor had just earned himself number 5 for the year, number 6 for the year, and Brandon had earned number 4 that year, I believe, in 2008. So, and I wasn't really at my peak then, but I went out there knowing that those needed me to pull my weight, and, I did. I actually laid down some of the best laps of the race out there in 08. This year, it's been another, 4 years, so certainly I was 30 when I was out there last time. I did race it last year with Jeff Pickens and Tracy Checo. We ended up 3rd overall, so that was a really good run for us, and Tracy really did awesome, racing against some of the top pros in the country. She held her own and did really well, so this was the 3rd time I've been out, but to be able to win it, 2 out of the 3 times and with 2 different teams, and, this time, Walker's in 18, Gabe's, I think, 22 or 23. How old are you, Gabe?
23.
22. So, these guys are young again, and, for them to tap me and say, hey, you're the old guy, but we want to ride with you, and we feel like you can hold your own. It inspires me to go out there and give it my all, and, I ended up having to ride a good part of the race on Walker's bike, which I wasn't familiar with, and, thumb throttle and everything different, but, it really, team competition really brings out the best in you, and obviously GNCC and ATV racing in general is around you, your crew, your guys, but when it comes to the actual riding part, it's all on you. In this event, it's different because, you're one leg of 3, so you're only as strong as your weakest guy, so certainly nobody wants to let their teammates down, and, like I said, Walker obviously is just a monster. Went out there and turned lap times after dark that mere mortals couldn't turn in the daytime, and then, went even faster, obviously, in the daytime. Gabe really outpaced my expectations. I was looking for him, obviously, to do well, but hold his own, but, he actually went out there and was putting time on the other teams instead of just keeping the lead, and, if anything, I would have to admit and say that I was probably the weakest link, so, but I was stoked. I gave it my all. We got the win, and, I pushed as hard as I could. Had a couple issues when I was on the bike, but ultimately, we put it together, got the win, and it was a lot of fun. It was really cool, and looking forward to going back next year and hopefully defending our championship.
Sweet. Now, whenever I announce you at the races from here on out, can I say aboard the Cernix factory back Yamaha, and can I say it is a 2-time Heartland Team Challenge champion, Johnny Gallagher?
It's true, but I don't know if it warrants an introduction. It's a cool event. I love going out there for that event, but I don't know if it really parlays so well into GNCC. If we're going to start announcing every championship everybody has, I think, Chris has obviously his 3 GNCC titles plus countless WISPLA and, District 6, and I know I've got some A-Works championships. I'm sure, Walker has championships. I don't know that we need to go there, but if you want to, I'm not going to stop you. It'll probably just make sense.
Well, that's great. Well, I'll do it for Gabe then. How's that?
There you go. One-time Heartland champion, absolutely.
There you go. That is cool. Well, Gabe, any parting shots that you want to take before we get out of here?
No.
All right. Johnny, how about you, man? Anything that you want to leave the listeners with before we get out of here tonight?
Yeah, I know we run over a little bit, but real quick, and this is the part where Gabe's going to get a lesson. Obviously, I want to thank everybody that made this weekend possible. Danny Fowler, Brock Booth, Gabe Phillips, Walker Fowler, those guys, awesome team. Obviously, Yamaha, North America had our backs, and they were certainly pumped for us to take the YFC 450 Heart of the Win. It just shows the durability and the potential of that bike. So, all three of us being on the same bike, all three of us going out there getting the win was pretty cool for them. All my sponsors as well, Fly Racing, HMF, GBC Motorsports. They're the ones that put up the big money for the Heartland Challenge to draw all the big names out and put something on for the crowd to watch. So can't thank them enough. And all my other sponsors as well, and all the fans, not only for the GBC Heartland Challenge, but also just for GNCC racing in general. Every morning I wake up, and I say this, and I think people think sometimes you're saying it to get the action, but the reality of it is every morning I wake up and I pinch myself. I love my life. I couldn't be happier doing what I'm doing, and I can't thank the people that make it possible enough, and all the fans that are out there supporting us. I've been doing this a long time, and hopefully got a few good years left in me, and I'm going to burn it right down to the end of the wick. So having a good time for sure.
Well, that's great, Johnny. Congratulations on your win this weekend, and congratulations on everything. And I hope that your new tattoo goes over very well. And can't wait to see.
I would imagine you'll probably be seeing it in Unadilla.
There you go. And I hope you have a good time. Again, tell Tracy all the best this weekend, and to her and Jeff both on the wedding. And we hope that you guys have a good time.
Thanks as always for having me on, Rodney.
Not a problem, and I'm sure we'll probably check back in with you next week, if not the week after, and talk a little more. I want to say thanks to, once again, Elko Suspension, 985 Harris Highway, located there in Parkersburg, West Virginia. You can check them out there on the World Wide Web at www.impactsolutionsatv.com. You can give them a telephone call at 304-863-0025. On behalf of Miss Tracy Checco, soon to be Miss Tracy Pickens, as well as thanks to our three-time and defending GNCC champ Chris Borich, Gabe Phillips, Walker Fowler, and Johnny G. I'm Rodney Tomlin.
Hey, Rodney.
Yeah.
One last thing. Walker actually just texted me. He's all out of phones. He's tried all three and can't bring any of them back to life, but he wanted to throw a quick parting shout out and say that, definitely the coolest thing for him out at the Heartland and just his last thing he wanted to say was getting to see Gabe as a rookie take the checkered flag and bring it across the line for the win, and just the whole team effort out there. And he wanted to thank all his sponsors, Balance Racing, Yamaha, all of his sponsors for everything they do for him, and he's pumped and ready to come back for the last 4 races of the season.
Sounds great. That's great. Thanks for doing that, Johnny. And this is Quad Radio, or actually, I'm Rodney Tomlin. This is Quad Radio Live.